Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning, my dear friends. It's still time not started for this, but I am talking. It's on live on YouTube as well as on Facebook together. Live of Facebook has not started yet. I check about Facebook, about live stream of it's still there on YouTube also. It's going live not started yet. So it's opening. I can it says you're live. So I'm live already on YouTube, and it is I'm already live on Facebook. So it's together. And my second time I think I'm giving live to. This is regarding COVID-19. Yesterday also I talked to you people about COVID-19, and again tomorrow I have an opportunity to talk to you people regarding this issue. It's a very, very important issue that we should understand what's happening around the world. Though I'm sitting in Bharat, India, yet it's very important to understand what's going around the world. Many news are getting in, and we should understand them. Today, I read one news, and this is regarding COVID-19 and through Telegraph. And this is through UK news, not through our news. And that's a very important point that you have to consider that the news title is also very important, you can say. It's given that COVID-19 may not have originated in China. This is Oxford University expert believes. Do you understand this point? It says that it says very specific title read as exclusive COVID-19 may not have originated in China, Oxford University expert believes, and I have already put URL of this news on Facebook text page. I could not put on YouTube. I will put later on, not big issue. Now what it says, there's a picture shown here regarding fever. That fevers being checked in China. Now, what news is? Coronavirus may have, it says coronavirus may have lain dormant across world. Coronavirus may have lain dormant across world and emerged when environmental conditions were right for it to thrive. This is what is said. You know that. It's very specific that it talks of coronavirus, but in a different tone. So, let us consider this. Coronavirus may have lain dormant across world and emerged when environmental conditions were right for it to thrive. Rather than starting in China, an Oxford University expert believes. कोरोना वायरस शुरू हुआ कहाँ से हुआ ये नहीं कहा जा सकता, किसी एक्सपर्ट ने कहा है ऑक्सफोर्ड यूनिवर्सिटी के दैट इतना नेसेसरी ये चाइना से हुआ है, ये डॉर्मेंट है, लेन डॉर्मेंट अक्रॉस वर्ल्ड पड़ा हुआ कहीं, एंड एमर्ज्ड व्हेन एनवायरमेंटल कंडीशंस वर राइट फॉर इट टू थ्राइव. जब भी वातावरण इसके लिए सूटेबल रहा, अच्छा रहा, ये चलने लगा, बन गया, पैदा हो गया. This sentence says that in Hindi, coronavirus may have lain dormant, laid होना चाहिए, coronavirus may have laid dormant across world and emerged when environmental conditions were right for it to thrive. Rather than starting in China, an Oxford University expert believes. Dr. Tom Jefferson, Senior Associate Tutor at Center for Evidence-Based Medicine, CEBM. Full abbreviation is Center for Evidence-Based Medicine at Oxford, and visiting professor at Newcastle University argues that there is growing evidence that virus was elsewhere before it emerged in Asia. I repeat this. Dr. Tom Jefferson, senior advocate, tutor, lecturer at Center for Evidence-Based Medicine, CEBM, at Oxford, and visiting professor at Newcastle University, argues that there is growing evidence that virus was elsewhere before it emerged in Asia. Last week, Spanish virologist announced they had found traces of disease in samples of wastewater collected in March 2019, 9 months before coronavirus disease was seen in China. Italian scientists have also found evidence of coronavirus in sewage samples in Milan and Turin. Italian scientists have also found evidence of coronavirus in sewage samples in Milan and Turin in mid-December, many weeks before first case was detected, while experts have found traces in Brazil in November. So how many locations are there? You can see yourself. It says that it was, in many places. It was in Milan. You can say that Spain. It was in Spain and Italy, and also that is in Milan and Turin and Brazil. Dr. Jefferson believes that what he believes? He believes that many viruses lie dormant, inactive. When you say dormant, it is inactive throughout the globe and emerge when conditions are favorable. It also means that they can vanish as quickly as they arrive. Where did SARS-1 go? SARS-1 go? It is SARS-2. It has just disappeared. He said. Dr. Jefferson believes that. So we have to think about these things. We need to start researching ecology of virus. Understanding how it originates and mutates. You have to understand that, how it originates and how does it mutate. I think virus was already there, already here. Here means everywhere. We may be seeing a dormant virus that has been activated by environmental conditions. There was a case in Falkland Islands in early February. Now, where did that come from? Falkland in early February. There was a cruise ship that went from South Georgia to Buenos Aires, and passengers were screened, and then on day 8, when they started sailing towards Weddell Sea, they got first case. Was it prepared food that had been defrosted and activated? There's a question mark. Strange things like this happened with Spanish flu. In 1918, around 30% of population of Western Samoa died of Spanish flu. And they hadn't had any communication with outside world. Explanation for this could only be that agents don't come or go anywhere. They are always here and something ignites them. This means they are agents, don't come or go anywhere. They are always here and something ignites them. maybe human density or environmental conditions. And this is what we should be looking for. Means it's a question of surveillance, question of research. Dr. Jefferson believes that virus may be transmitted through sewage system or shared toilet facilities, not just through droplets expelled by talking, coughing, and sneezing. Writing in Telegraph, Dr. Jefferson and Professor Carl Hennegehan, director of CEBM, called for an in-depth investigation, similar to that carried out by John Snow in 1854, which showed cholera was spreading in London from an infected well in Soho. Exploring why so many outbreaks happen at food factories and meat packing plants could uncover major new transmission routes. They believe it may be shared toilet facilities coupled with cool conditions that allow virus to thrive. We are doing a living review, extracting environmental conditions, ecology of these viruses, which has been grossly understudied, said doctor. There's quite a lot of evidence that huge amounts of virus and sewage all over the place, and an increasing amount of evidence there is a fecal transmission. There is a high concentration where sewage is 4 degrees, which is ideal temperature for it to be stable and presumably activated, and meat packing plants are often at 4 degrees. These meat packing plants, clusters and isolated outbreaks don't fit with respiratory theory. These meat packing clusters and isolated outbreaks don't fit with respiratory theory. They fit in with people who haven't washed their hands properly. These outbreaks need to be investigated properly with people on ground one by one. You need to do what John Snow did. You question people and you start constructing hypotheses that fit facts in, not other way around. ये है न्यूज़ आपकी जॉन ऑक्सफोर्ड के उनसे टॉम जेफरसन, डॉक्टर टॉम जेफरसन, सीनियर एसोसिएट ट्यूटर, कहते हैं पहले भी हुआ है, जगह जगह हुआ है और अब भी हो रहा है। चाइना में होने से पहले इटली में हुआ, मिलान में हुआ, स्पेन में हुआ। स्पेन में तो 2019 में हुआ है, मार्च में। उसके बाद ब्राज़ील में हुआ नवंबर में, चाइना में तो बाद में हुआ। तो किस ग्राउंड पे आप कह सकते हैं कि ऐसा वहाँ हुआ? और ये रहता है हमेशा, कब एक्टिवेट हो जाए कोई नहीं जाने। जैसा ही वातावरण इसको सही मिलता है एक्टिवेट हो सकता है, ये उनका कहना है। वेस्ट वाटर का खास तौर पे जोर है सीवेज का, कि वहाँ बहुत चांसेस है कि जो सीवेज का टेम्परेचर होता है 4 डिग्री रखा जाता है। यहाँ नहीं, भारत में, वहाँ की बात कर रहा हूँ। और वही टेम्परेचर आपका मीट फैक्ट्री में होता है जो पैकिंग की होती है, और वो टेम्परेचर से सुटेबल है, बाथरूम सुटेबल है, क्योंकि हम टेम्परेचर इतना रखते हैं वहाँ। अब मैं थोड़ा हिंदी में बता दूंगा उसको। कोरोना वायरस सो रहा था, कहना है उनका, दुनिया के अंदर, और जैसे ही वातावरण इसका अच्छा मिला, ये जाग गया, इसका एजेंट जाग गया। और ये कहना कि चीन से आया है, ये गलत फहमी है, ये ऑक्सफोर्ड के प्रोफेसर कह रहे हैं। डॉक्टर टॉम जेफरसन जो एक अच्छे खासे पद पर हैं पढ़ाई के, और वो कह रहे हैं एविडेंस के हिसाब से कि ऐसा कहना बिल्कुल गलत होगा, ये चाइना से आया। और ये विजिटिंग प्रोफेसर भी हैं, मैं न्यू कैसल यूनिवर्सिटी के, ये बहस करते हैं इस बात पे कि ऐसा पक्का हमारे पास सबूत है, साक्ष्य है कि वायरस चाइना से पहले, एशिया से पहले कहीं और भी था। ये एक प्रोफेसर कह रहे हैं, मैं नहीं कह रहा। पिछले हफ्ते स्पेन वालों ने कहा, स्पेन के जो वायरोलॉजिस्ट होते हैं, जो वायरस को डील करते हैं, एक्सपर्ट्स, उन्होंने कहा था कि मार्च 2019 में वहाँ पर ये पाया गया वेस्ट वाटर के सैंपल में। और वेस्ट वाटर क्या होता है आप जानते हैं? किचन से जो पानी आता है उसको वेस्ट वाटर कहते हैं। 9 रिपोर्ट कर रहा है जो 9 महीने पहले उन्होंने कहा चीन में आने से 9 महीने पहले इटाली के वैज्ञानिकों ने इसको पाया। कहाँ पाया? सीवेज सैंपल में। सीवेज सैंपल मतलब मिलान में मिला, ट्यूरिन में मिला। वो सैंपल वहाँ मिला, दिसंबर में मिला, मिड दिसंबर में मिला, कई हफ्ते पहले जब चाइना में मिला, उससे पहले। और डॉक्टर जेफरसन मानते हैं ये डॉर्मेंट है, इनएक्टिव रहता है। एक्टिव किया जाता है इसको जब वातावरण मिल जाता है इसको। और ये कई तरह के वायरस रह सकते हैं ग्लोब में, और जब भी इनको पनपने की शक्ति मिलती है ह्यूमिडिटी से या लो टेम्परेचर से, ये दोबारा काम करने लगते हैं और फिर ये चले भी जाते हैं। कौन जानता है? SARS कहाँ गया 1, जिसको आजकल SARS-2 कहा जा रहा है। SARS का मतलब है सीवियर एक्यूट रेस्पिरेटरी सिंड्रोम्स। 2 पहले 1 आया था, कहाँ गया वो? बस चला गया, एकदम भाग गया। हमें सोचना पड़ेगा, वो कहते हैं हमें सोचना पड़ेगा इन बातों के बारे में। हमें इस पर अनुसंधान करना पड़ेगा कि आखिर ये वायरस का वातावरण क्या है, वायरस का विज्ञान क्या है, आखिर ये कैसे पनपता है और कैसे जाता है। इसके और इस बात को समझना पड़ेगा ये कैसे म्यूटेट करता है, ये कैसे पैदा होता है, कहाँ से शुरू होता है, कैसे अपनी शक्ति को बढ़ाता है, कॉपीज करता है। वो कहते हैं यहाँ है, सब जगह है वायरस, सब जगह है दुनिया में, कहीं डोरमेंट नहीं है, सब जगह डोरमेंट है। और कब ये पैदा हो जाए काम करने में कोई नहीं जानता। और फॉल्कलैंड में बताते हैं, फॉल्कलैंड आइलैंड में एक केस हुआ था 1 फरवरी में, और वो कहाँ से आया कोई नहीं जानता। एक क्रूज शिप जा रहा था यात्रियों को ले आने वाला, साउथ जॉर्जिया से ब्यूनस एलियस की तरफ, और उसमें से पैसेंजर्स को स्क्रीन किया गया था। 8वें दिन वहाँ पर सेलिंग हुई वेराल सी की तरफ, और पहला केस सामने आया। क्या ये खाने से आया या कहाँ से आया, या जो डिफ्रॉस्ट किया गया उससे एक्टिवेट हुआ। अचंभे की बातें हो रही हैं। वो कहते हैं स्पेनिश फ्लू 1918 का, जहाँ 30% पॉपुलेशन मर गई समोआ, वेस्टर्न समोआ में, और उनकी कोई कम्युनिकेशन आउटसाइडर से खत्म हो गई। तो इसका कौन विवरण देखा? इनके जो एजेंट्स हैं वायरस के, वो काम नहीं करते तो कहीं जा सकते हैं, और वो सब जगह हैं, और कभी कभी इग्नाइट हो जाते हैं ह्यूमन डेंसिटी बढ़ने से। जहाँ ज़्यादा लोग रहते हैं और वातावरण की कंडीशन अच्छी जा नहीं है, वहाँ ये आगे निकल जाते हैं। और हमें इस बात को देखना होगा वायरस कैसे जाता है एक से दूसरे में, सीवेज सिस्टम के अंदर से और शेयर टॉयलेट से। खाली ड्रॉपलेट्स का कहना गलत है कि हमने खांसी आई और जुकाम आया, हमने छींक दिया और बात कर रहे थे चला गया, वो ये काफ़ी नहीं है। ये कंडीशंस सीवेज सिस्टम, मलमूत्र सिस्टम को देखना होगा, टॉयलेट्स को देखना होगा। और जेफरसन कहते हैं आगे जो 1854 में किया गया था जॉन स्नो ने, हमें वैसा ही कुछ करना होगा। उस टाइम हैजा हुआ था, लंदन में फैला था, सोहो में फैला था। तो इतने क्यों हो रहे हैं आउटब्रेक, ये सोचना पड़ेगा। फैक्ट्री से हो रहे हैं, वहाँ भी 4 डिग्री टेम्परेचर होता है, सीवेज में होता है। ये सब बातें सोचने की हैं। तो ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट बात है। वी आर डूइंग ए लाइव रिव्यू एक्सट्रैक्टिंग एनवायरमेंट कंडीशंस। कहते हैं फिर बहुत से सबूत मौजूद हैं, बहुत से सबूत हैं कि वायरस सीवेज में कहाँ से आ रहा है, सब जगह आ रहा है। फेकल ट्रांसमिशन है, हाई कंसंट्रेशन है सीवेज का, 4 डिग्री हो जाता है। आइडियल टेम्परेचर है इसको बनने के लिए, वायरस को एक्टिव होने के लिए 4 टेम्परेचर 4 डिग्री सेल्सियस। मीट पेकिंग प्लांट में भी इतना ही होता है, कोल्ड स्टोर होता है, मतलब कोल्ड स्टोर में वायरस होगा। और ये जो प्लांट हैं, क्लस्टर्स हैं, यहाँ ब्रेक हो जाते हैं वायरस। These meat-packing clusters and isolated outbreaks don't fit with respiratory theory. ये कहना कि खाली सांस में आता है गलत है, और जगह से भी आता है। अब हमें ये सोचना होगा हमें क्या करना है, हमें इसकी जांच पड़ताल करनी होगी। जो जॉन स्नो ने किया 1800 कब किया, 1854 में, हमें करना होगा। हमें लोगों से बात करनी होगी, सवाल पूछने होंगे और उसके बाद थीसिस बनाने होंगे। ये बातें इतनी सिंपल हैं, समझ नहीं, मैं नहीं कह सकता। These are very important points. We have to understand for John what this Dr. Jefferson says. His points are valid. He is talking scientific and logical. We cannot just consider one point and decide. We have to take into our consideration all points, what he says, and maybe there are more points. He is talking of cold surface temperature. Our CO lines are very hot. When this starts at 4, it can go up to 90 degrees if it's live. So in our sewer system, there are more chances because our systems are not controlled, our systems are not sealed. We have open sewer system, we have systems where manholes are broken, where water or rain goes in. So there are better chances in our case. This point, if you don't understand, our system is worse than others. I understand that these people got no invested interest or vested interest in this, but they talk science, and if we cannot conceive this into ourselves, we make a mistake. Yes, it's easy to blame someone that started from there, but really, does it start from there? That is a question mark. I repeat again for those who did not listen properly, as the coronavirus may have lain dormant across the world and emerged with environmental conditions right for it to thrive rather than starting in China or Oxford University. Oxford believes Dr. Tom Jefferson, senior associate tutor at Center for Evidence-Based Medicine at Oxford and visiting professor at Newcastle University, argues that there is growing evidence that virus was elsewhere before it emerged in Asia. So he has told certain places. He referred to Spanish virologist who detected this virus in March 2019. Then he refers to Italy scientists who say this was available in sewage sample in Milan and Turin in mid-December. And then he also refers to Brazil in November. And then he further believes about one cruise ship, they are in Italy, and this ship was sent to some other direction. So Falkland Island, there was a case in Falkland Island in early February, Falkland. Now, where did that come from? There was a cruise ship that went from South Georgia to Buenos Aires, and that passengers were screened, and then on day 8, when they started sailing towards Weddell Sea, they got first case. Was it in prepared food that was defrosted and activated? So there's a question mark. I think it's a big question mark. We cannot simply decide like ill-informed people. We have to consider this very seriously. Virus is virus. It is working around. We can't help ourselves. We have to understand this fact that these are scientists. Like yesterday, 239 scientists submitted to WHO their thesis, their research work, that 100% they are sure that this virus works in air also in form of droplets. So new information has come in this form now that it appeared long before when it was detected in China, Wuhan. So what we should say, politics is higher or scientists higher. I condemn politicians who just predetermine with prejudice like Trump or like our people or like whole Europe or Germany. They're all politicians. They do not know anything about technology, science. How can they claim what they are saying is right? So we have believed in those people who are scientists, who are qualified, educated, who always immerse themselves, their minds in research work. So we have to be very careful in our approach. We should not believe only in what we understand or what we are told. These people dedicatedly work to know more and more, and they explain. Their explanation must be understood reliably. I'm not supporting anybody, I am supporting facts. I have to give more weightage to scientists' work and zero weightage to political work. Because politicians are illiterate as far as science is concerned, engineering is concerned. You cannot believe what they say, because what they say they never do. This is now COVID, how it was born. Scientists are telling something which is of course not 100% right, but it is referring to something. Means they are warning whole world that don't try to fight, find solutions. You have to try to understand how this virus came up, from where, and if it's available everywhere, it is in dormant form. It can be activated when temperature and humidity according to its reactivation requirements are available. It works very fine, and that's what is working. And I'm seeing that when humidity today, say in Delhi and around Delhi, is 85%. That's very good for thriving of such virus. And temperature is also low. Low temperature is friend of this virus, and high humidity also another friend of this virus. So public only can do nothing except to take precautionary measures. Again and again I stress, don't forget your leaders and forget everybody. You are your own leader, I say. Believe these scientists and you can understand what they say. They say something reasonable, logical, with base, not just they say because they want to say. Isn't that? And that's what I say, that explaining unnecessary is no use. So I'm just trying to explain to you what should be informed, in a reasonable way, in a way that intelligent people must understand. That's why I used certain Hindi also, that we have to take care. Do not just depend on something. Do not believe that only methods of transmission of this virus, जो बताए गए थे रास्ते WHO द्वारा या पब नेताओं द्वारा कि एक पर्सन से दूसरे पर्सन के कांटेक्ट में आने से होता है, या आँख पे हाथ लग जाए या हाथ में कुछ लग जाए तो उससे होता है, हवा से भी होता है, और ये कैसे होता है, खाली वुहान से नहीं होता है, ये दुनिया के किसी भी कोने से हो सकता है, ये इनका कहना है. अगर आप इस बात को समझते हैं, अच्छी बात है, लड़ाई करने से अच्छा नहीं है. कोई अगर अपने माइंड में गलत फहमी बना लें कि जो वो कह रहे हैं वही सही है, वो ठीक नहीं है. साइंटिस्ट, वैज्ञानिक पढ़े लिखे हैं, अच्छी पढ़ाई की होती है, रिसर्च करते हैं, अनुसंधान करते हैं, डेप्थ में जाते हैं, तब ये कोई बात करते हैं. उनकी बात को हम खेल खिलौना नहीं ले सकते. We have to respect them and we have to take precaution. That means they are not going to charge any money from us. It means we have to understand what they say and follow it. Hence, it's good that they are thinking of this. It's reliable work they are doing, and they are supporting humanity all over the world. They do not talk for one country or one society. They talk for whole world, whole society. Unfortunately, all countries are opening, and that is a black work they are doing. This is not time to open, but when there was a time, they closed, and when there is a time to close it, they open it. And that is called nonsense. That is called foolishness, I can say. What's happening in England is foolishness. What's happening in USA is foolishness. What's happening in our country is foolishness. They are only interested, again I say, in economy. They are not interested in public. Public have to understand this point. If you want to live peacefully, you must understand this point. These scientists are not our enemies, these are our friends, and we should aspire such information more and more. I talked to some people about this before also, who was fighting with me. No, it's from Wuhan, it's from China. Means you decide something without any evidence. I asked, give me evidence. There's no evidence because they say, political people say, and all say, that's why I agree. Means you can't understand if somebody says something, you believe it? No. I don't believe, at least until logic exists, until evidence exists. I do not believe anything like that. It's my right to know what is evidence about that. Otherwise, I can't do. With this, I close this video. Thank you very much for listening to me or may listen to me. I just thought to pass this information to everyone so that they understand. Like last day or yesterday, I passed information. Maybe people don't like such information. I don't care for that. It's up to them. I'm supporting people. I'm just informing them whatever I get. And with this, thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much. Bye bye. Thank you very much. And I close this video now.